What's going on, YouTube and cryptocurrency family? My name is Harry, and I'm the Crypto Vet. Thank you for tuning back in. I know it's been about 2 weeks since I have posted anything on YouTube. It's only because we were trying to completely revamp everything. If you guys have been following me on the stream, I've been still streaming every day at 1 p.m. on the weekdays, and streaming in the evenings to do more and more stuff. So we're gonna get back to that daily content on the weekdays, starting today with Labor Day. I figured the day everyone else is resting, I'm gonna put in the most work, and we're gonna get all of this stuff finished. So thanks to all of my team. You guys are all wonderful. I can't thank you enough, but let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to do the social links. You know where that shit is, right? Let's go ahead and dive on in. If we head over to CoinMarketCap, we've got a little bit of green, a little bit of red. The markets right now are in a shit ton of indecision, right? We've got this potential thing going on tomorrow with El Salvador, with the new adoption of a country with Bitcoin, and this can come with both positive and negative effects. So I'm just going to go over that real quick today and just give you an update on the market. So looking at the biggest gainers today, we have OMG Network doing really well, of course. FTX token and Solana. Quantum has been doing really good. I mean, I sold a little bit at about $350, so about $350. Awesome. Even Crypto.com. I'm waiting for Crypto.com and KCS token, these other exchange tokens, to really pick up after we really get this wave of retail money coming right back in. As far as the biggest losers, a little bit of projects that have pumped a bunch in the past couple weeks, now finally getting little bits of retracement, but still overall not too bad. But let's go ahead and head over here to Bitcoin. And looking at Bitcoin on the daily, we've had this amazing rally back at 29,000, 28,000 something, and we've gone up. The question is are we going to shoot up now till the moon, or are we going to get rejected at some point and turn this into a big descending triangle, just like we saw in 2017, which thus leads to a bear market? So to go over that, I think the first thing we should do is, I have all my stuff hidden. We're just going to kind of go back in time to 2017. This is when I actually got more into crypto, was right as I was graduating from vet school, because I finally had some extra money to actually invest. Whoa, I went way too far back. Hold the phone. Here we go. 2017. So here in 2017, we had a couple different patterns that formed. But if you were actually watching the charts after we had our big run up to the top, the main thing that we noticed is this is the top and this was the bottom. And zooming in, let me get rid of market cipher for right now, and the VPVR, so we can see what we are doing. All right, so if we have this here, we had two kind of trend lines that we could follow and learn from later on. But what if we got all of this stuff back and pretend we only knew what we know right now? So we're going to go to here, and this brings us back in time to 2017 no chart. We have our top, local top at the time. Most of this is a local top. I was still doing more Forex and things, so I didn't know much about crypto at that time, but I did notice that we were at a local top. So I have two. So looking back now, knowing what we know with fibs and everything, if we take the top to the bottom and we kind of play things out, you guys know me, I'm like blockchain backer. I love the 702. I actually, like I said, adopted this a couple years ago because of not just him, but other people who actually don't even see in the space as much anymore. They always told me about this 702. So it was something I added and I've used for a long time. So, I'm not the first, blockchain backer probably wasn't the first, but in the end, we can use this information to help us dictate. So if we hit the play button and we kind of keep going, what happened? I'm going to stop it right there. We bounced around. We looked like we formed what was a double bottom, a low, a higher low. What did we do? We shot back up the 382, broke through the 618, and rejected on the 702. And knowing how things played out after that, we continued on and continued on until we eventually, broke to the downside. But the key moral of the story is we never achieved the 702, right? And if we... Nope, I gotta exit this out. Yes. So let's go back to present day, and we're gonna delete that. We've gone over, my different theories on how we got into this bearish wedge, how I thought we should have stayed here before pumping up at the Elon Musk tweet, the Coinbase IPO. I believe that they were mostly looking for higher transactions and not a dump, but they thought that we'd have another rally around April. Instead, we continued the rally too long instead of consolidating here. But either way, what if we are in another big descending triangle like we had previously. And just like we did on that one, we can go from the top to the bottom of this. And it's not going to be all the way at the bottom. I'm just talking about this initial sell-off. What do we have? We have the 702 coming up at around $54,500, $55,000. And currently we're struggling at the 0.618. So, from our resistance that we had before, high, lower high, and we could actually go to this point because this is a wick going up. We got rejected, broke through, but we haven't actually really come back down to retest it. Well, now that Michael Saylor is talking about buying a bunch of Bitcoin tomorrow with a bunch of people, right? Regardless of who it is, regardless of the amount or anything, the fact that Michael Saylor is now tweeting out that everybody should buy on this National Bitcoin Day for El Salvador scares the living shit out of me. I don't like that. I've never seen anybody organize a group together, say to buy something, and it actually be successful. So I'm a little hesitant right now. And other things that kind of show us reasons why we could be hesitant is another bearish wedge. Another bearish wedge pretty much forming here, just like we had there, with a nice rally up into it. Now, if we get above this, above the 702 and all that, I still think this is a bear market, right? The problem is the lining up of all of this stuff right at the 702 gives me a high tendency that we might actually break to the downside. Now, the nice thing is the higher up we go, the breakdown should still keep us above certain supports, right? If we break above here, where we're at now, measured move, oh my lord, let me be straight for me. We measured move, this brings us right back to our all-time high if we break out. If we break down, let's say we break down somewhere right towards the end of this, it puts us right back to the 42 that I think we needed to confirm after we broke through this, because we never came back down to confirm what used to be the preliminary support before we went into the dump, which then became a resistance. We never actually really kind of confirmed it more than just like a little wick. Now, this is a bull market, that can tend to happen, but I want you guys to see all of the potential scenarios. So let's say we came up to here and we get rejected. Well, then what that makes it look more likely is that we either need a lot more time to consolidate all this, or we are actually in a bear market. So that's the only reason I wanted to bring all this up, because what would happen is we get rejected there at the 702, we come down, let's say we look like we're going to get support here, but then boom, it gets rejected and then goes back to our flat point of support here. Well, that just makes it look like one big ass descending triangle, and we could drop to the downside. This is a possibility. Very low on my book. I think that we are going to break through and hold, and even if we did drop down to 42, it's going to be a drop down, a pick back up to go again, and it's just going to take a little bit longer towards the middle of October to November before we see that, which plays along nicely with the fact that I think we are going to have a bull market that runs until around January, February, March-ish, because every time our cycles are just slightly getting longer. Just my opinion, guys. Again, I'm a doctor/idiot. This is not financial advice. I'm just, trying to show you guys what I see. So, coming down here into the short term, we can see tons of little bitty patterns that we've been tracking on stream that have broken out. Yesterday, I tweeted out, like literally 5 minutes before this happened, see you guys at 52K, because we had confirmed this and then started to go up. And hell, it didn't even take but like an hour later to shoot all the way up there. But then what do you know now? It looks like we're forming another diamond pattern or another Bart Simpson pattern, which could have played out here, Bart Simpson, but then we got the consolidation back up, so we could have it happen again. It's just showing that there's a lot of indecision in the markets, and we don't really quite know what's going to happen. But if we zoom out a little bit, get rid of all of our lines and things, we can see that we are at a very important point. This is support here, support, resistance, resistance. So we got to get through this, and we got to get through this with some volume. So, I'm really hoping that we can see a nice pickup in volume to really back this breakout to the upside. We did have just a weekly close here yesterday, and this is very, very bullish of a weekly close candle. I mean, we've got a very tall hammer candle that has retraced very little, and this was right after a indecision candle, kind of like a spinning top, where don't know which way that we want to go, but we decided this past week to go up, and now we need to see if we can continue that with another couple of weeks of positive price action. So I hope that this what happens. I hope that Michael Saylor just mentioning Bitcoin and that stuff doesn't just cause this shit to dump tomorrow, because if there was a time to dump, it would be tomorrow. So just keep your eyes peeled, keep a close watch, and we'll see where this goes. Moving quickly to Ethereum, and I'm just going to glance over these next ones here because they don't really matter if Bitcoin dumps, right? We're going to have to take Bitcoin into account first before we do anything else. If we look at Ethereum here just on the daily, we can see that we're getting right back up here. We're like less than a couple percent away from all-time high. And as always, Ethereum is forming what looks like to be an ascending channel. Usually likes to lag and take its time. So, here very soon we could easily see new all-time highs for Ethereum. But with the Cardano launching its smart contracts here in, I think, a little less than a week, or about a week. I think it's the 12th or 14th. I'll get the exact date to be sure. I always just expect to buy the rumor, sell the news, right? 9 times out of 10, that is exactly what happens. Now, Cardano does have a lot of people who are using it for staking and all these other things, so we might not see as big of a drop, but Ethereum right now is most likely going to set the pace and do it because it's been going up, but it's been going up slowly. And the last time we were at this exact same kind of deal where we had already pumped up a little bit, kind of went sideways, all of a sudden we just started this massive uptrend up again, which took about a month. So we consolidated here for all of this time, and we're starting to pump up again. I think we're just going to slowly progress up and go from here. My price targets are measured in Bitcoin compared to Ethereum, not just Ethereum to US dollar, but this usually roughly coincides to around 8 to 12,000, depending on where Bitcoin is. So 8,000 if Bitcoin is, much suppressed, doesn't actually hit 100K, 60 to 70,000. And then if Bitcoin hits 100 plus K, that's where we're getting the $12,000 to $15,000 for Ethereum. But overall, very bullish on Ethereum and all of these altcoins. And the reason I'm just going to go briefly over this is we're going to go over it more on the Twitch, but if we just look at the altcoin market, we're going towards setting all-time highs. And right now, this is mainly driven by Ethereum and actually more by things like Hex and stuff than actually Cardano and all that. And that's for another story. But yes, technically market cap of Hex is number 3, even though Cardano is listed as number 3. So we got to see if we can bust through this and make some action. As it comes to XRP, I'm always bullish on XRP until we get this lawsuit settled. But just a simple measured move with just some symmetrical triangles that we have been in, is putting us right up here to the 786 at around $1.67. But we have to get over the 618 and of course my favorite, the 702, which is why I've been calling for a 150 to 154 XRP at any day now, because it can just launch on its own or it'll just keep this steady path up. But the 154 is just going to be a very hard thing for XRP to get over if we don't have a lot of volume and movement coming from, like, say, Bitcoin or something at the same time. So we need more of a catalyst than just Michael Saylor's got to gonna buy $30 worth of Bitcoin with everybody. So right now I'm looking to see if XRP can hold its own and break through about 140, 142, and close a daily candle above this. Anything to show us that it's going to keep going up. So those are the price targets that I'm looking at. But I am worried about the $1.50, especially with Bitcoin potentially breaking down bearish if we have a kind of like a bad day tomorrow. So, just remember it's there. I'm just going to sit back from trading. I'm not going to sell anything or change anything that I'm doing. I'm just going to sit back and just see how it happens. If we start to pump up and we start to confirm some levels, then I'll probably hop right back into it. But right now, XRP is looking very, very good. And I still do think it's only like me, Ben, and like 2 other people that think this, but I believe that this XRP lawsuit will be settled sooner rather than later. But yeah, last thing, Cardano. Right now, the biggest thing on Cardano is, my price targets are roughly $3.50 up to around $5. But Cardano is, again, doing that same thing, kind of like a bearish wedge. Either way, we have a increase in price action, a decrease in the RSI, so there's a lot of bearish divergence, which we can see with the red line on Market Cipher, plus a couple of sell signals. And, if Cardano was to drop because, say, Bitcoin and Michael Saylor took a shit on everybody, we're looking to have good support as a back test on our previous all-time high at 220 here, and that's where I would be loading back in with Cardano. That's going to do it for today, guys. First video back after about 2 weeks. So many cool things going. A music video, a website, merchandise. We got a whole new crew. We've got other Twitch streamers. We have another YouTube channel, so you want to hop over there, it'll be Crypto Vet Gaming, where we get a lot of stuff covered. So thank you guys so fucking much for everything that y'all do. I can't tell you all enough. We're going to give back tenfold, so stay close, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.